Hello students, welcome to Miss Lori's Early Years. My name is Teacher Lori. Good job students. Today is story time. And today you have a special guest. The cat in the hat is going to read you the story about cows. Cows can moo, can you? So let's see how this story begins. Okay, students, get in your sitting positions, put your listening ears on, and let's read a story. Are you ready? Spring has sprung, my fine friends. Come along, grab an arm. Let me take you to tour the Green Bean family's farm. So we're going to tour a farm today where cows live because cows are farm animals. Good job. Very good. Okay, so let's look at this picture. We have the Green Bean family. We have Dean, Jean, Mr. Green Bean, Baby Irene, and Mrs. Green Bean. Very good. So, the sun's barely up, and what do you know? The house lights are on with the rooster's first crow. He stretches his neck and says, cock-a-doodle-doo. Does that sound like the way your day begins too? So here's our rooster. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Good job. Very good. Okay, students. In the dairy parlor, the younger green beans are connecting the cows to the milking machines. Moo, moo. So let's look at the milking machines. These are milking machines. So this is called a teacup where we milk the cows. The claw that draws the milk hose, and the vacuum tube that pulls the milk from the cows. The machines go chuff chuff and the cows go moo moo. They clean udders beforehand, and when they are through, feeding the chickens is not at all hard. Just spread grains and seeds all over their yard. Nothing moves like a chicken or talks like one talks. Its claws go scritch scritch and its beak pock pock pocks. So look at the chickens feeding. Good job. In the sheepfold, Mr. Greenbean shears the sheep's belly fleece. Then he shaves off the rest in one big neat piece. Mr. Greenbean tries to be gentle and quick, to never pinch skin or to hurt or to nick. Most sheep sound alike, the lamb, ram, and ewe. They all go bat, bat, and have woolly fleece too. So let's look. We're catching the lamb. We're shearing the lamb. We're releasing the lamb into the pen. This is a ewe. This is a ram with horns. And they go bat, bat. Mrs. Greenbean places the wool on a table and pulls out the tags as much as she's able. The tags are the wool from the belly and back, too dirty to use, so they're tossed in a sack. Next, she washes and dries it and cards out the knots. This task takes some time because knots there are lots. Then she spins the wool into a thick yarn, and that's what she uses to knit green bean mittens and hats. So here are tags, the wool they don't use. She's skirting, she's washing, she's spinning, and she's making mittens and hats. Up here she's carding. So carding's like brushing out knots from your hair. In the truck garden's tidy vegetable beds are lettuce and kale with tiny green heads. Underground carrots sprout. They're actually roots. Above ground, the pole beans put out their first shoots. So let's look at some of these lettuce and kale with tiny green heads. There's our lettuce, carrots underground. Dean's hoe digs for weeds, and it scratches. The scarecrow is dressed in an outfit that matches. Here's some pole beans, some tomatoes, some kale, and here's our scarecrow. With tractor and tiller, Mr. Greenbean needs to ready the soil for the planting of seeds. This is our tiller, digs up the dirt, and our tractor. Manure spreader. This is our manure spreader, so it spreads the poop on the ground. The green bean hitches up the manure spreader to fertilize the soil, make it richer and better. Suddenly there comes a loud banging crunch. A bent tractor axle would be my best hunch. But Mr. Greenbean, being smarter than smart, calls the tractor shop to get a new part. So the axle broke on the tractor. With Axel in place, all shiny and new, there is one more thing Mr. Greenbean must do. He'll hook up the planter because, he'll show, it will spit out the seeds in a nice even row. There goes the planter, spit, spit, spit. It does the job quick and is neat about it. So the planter spits out the seeds that go in the ground. We leave and come back on a dry summer's day when it's time for the green beans to bring in the hay. The sickle mower cuts down the field of tall hay, then it's left out to dry for at least one more day. The hay rake swishes, it goes to and fro to gather the hay into piles like so. This long pile of hay is all good for farmers know. It goes by a name. It is called a windrow. So here is the sickle mower cutting down the hay and the hay rake. Very good. Here comes the baler with a loud rumbling roar, packing hay into bales that are easy to store. Rumble. Vroom, vroom goes the skid steer as sister and brother stack up the bales one on top of the other. So the hay baler comes and puts it into nice little bundles. Everything's green and growing quite well till midsummer comes and brings a dry spell. This means the green beans must now irrigate. They soak the dry soil after dark when it's late. Like a big garden sprinkler, the irrigator whips round and waters the crops with a whopping sound. So irrigate means to water the plants. They have to water the plants because it is dry. It did not rain very much for the plants. Plants need water to grow. Come fall, we return for the harvest and reaping, a date we will have all look forward to keeping. The combine does two of the harvesting jobs. It cuts down corn stalks and cuts kernels off cobs. So here is the combine cutting the kernels. It's harvest time, gathering. All right, the auger picks up the kernels like so and shoots them off into the tall grain silo. The kernels rain down with a rat-a-tat-tat. They fill up the silo in no time like that. So here, they store the kernels in a silo. Let's check out the garden, the time how it's flown. See how the veggies have ripened and grown. Dug out the earth, plucked from the vine. The green beans garden harvest was never so fine. Let's load up the truck, we must not delay, for didn't you know? Okay, what did we know? What are we doing? We're harvesting. They ripened, the vegetables have ripened and grown. They're digging up the earth or plucking them from a vine, putting them in baskets. Green Bean Farms. It is Green Market Day. That's what we know. So all of the vegetables that have grown on the Green Beans family farm now goes to market for people to buy. As market day ends, the fond memories linger. The green beans are too tired to lift even a finger. Their noses sniff, sniff. Smells great. What is that? A farm fresh meal from... Where do you think the farm fresh meal is from? The Green Beans Farm. The Cat in the Hat. So let's see. What is that? A farm fresh meal from... Who do you see in the window? The Cat in the Hat is in the window cooking up a meal from the family's fresh produce. Yes, the Cat in the Hat cooked up a great meal for them because they were very tired from the market day. Very good. Good job, students. Look at all the fresh vegetables that came from the Green Beans Farm. I hope you enjoyed our story today. So let's look at our glossary. An auger is a screw-shaped tool in a long metal tube used to move grain from the ground up to the top of the silo or grain bin. An axle is a rod that passes through a wheel or group of wheels that turns. Dairy parlor is the part of a dairy barn where the cows are milked from the machine. So this is how we milk the cows, from that machine. Irrigate is to supply water to land or crops. So this is like a hose spraying water. Kernel is a seed and hard cover from an ear of corn or a shaft of wheat. So those little teeny parts of the corn, that's a kernel of corn. Linger is to stay perhaps longer than necessary because you don't want something to end. So linger is to stand around because you want to stay somewhere. Manure is animal dung used for enriching soil. So manure is animal poop used to fertilize to help the plants grow. And sickle mower is a machine that cuts down the tall grass. This is a sickle. Spell is an unspecific period of time. Yes, when they talk about a spell, it's an unspecific period of time. Truck garden, a field where vegetables are grown for market. So the green beans had a truck garden. Yes, good job, students. Very good. So we talked about farm animals today. We talked about cows and sheep. How cows are milked and how sheep have their wool taken from them and made into mittens or hats. We also talked about vegetables, how vegetables are grown, what to do to grow vegetables, where to store vegetables, and what happens to vegetables on a truck garden farm. They go to market. Very good. So students, I really hope you enjoyed our story time today. And this is So Long for Now from the Cat in the Hat. Good job. Okay, parents, I hope you enjoyed our story. Please like, subscribe, and see you next time. Goodbye.